One more map. One more map to separate ATK from the Nouns. What's going to happen here? It's going to be a pretty straightforward B play, it seems. One player top mid to hold the presence, and admittedly, that is ATK's focus. And otherwise, well, a B play. The util's even in top mid, so it's not going to be a B pop. It's just going to be a straightforward run out. Swisher set up to defend this. He'll get a smoke down early. He's got the tools as well to play around, and with 2 pistols, well, it won't matter if he gets 1 shot between the eyes. They've dealt with the top mid presence. The retake can happen without issue. The battle of the market, that's going to be huge, and ooh, it is very much won by CSGO. Bombs taken away, and it's going to be these catwalk players. They're all that remains, and one very wounded MoTM is not a retake.
That's another pistol round for Nouns. That makes it 3 pistol rounds in a row, going back to Overpass. And Nouns now get some advantages going on their way early here on map number 3. Sure, they have a lot of momentum coming off of that map number 2 victory in quite chaotic fashion. ATK got to force back up, though. Bowden with the scout on the CT side, very dangerous. We saw that on Overpass after Nouns won their T-side pistol. Bowden decided to just strike them all down, smite them with his scout. He's going to try and do the very same again. Swisher around that mid-smoke, peeking around. Won't spot anybody, so he'll just retreat into ladder. It's another B play from Nouns. I don't think they're really too fussed about running into people, though. I think they have confidence in their aim right now. And Bowden, there he goes, combines with Fadey. First player to fall is the lurk up cat. Here comes the push.
We saw this on Overpass, right? Scout from Bowden was just the difference maker. Gave them a critical round. This time the CZ's getting her done, but Bowden not able to quite have this same impact, and it's going to leave it to MisteM in the clutch. And okay, George quickly answers that question. Not even a remote threat. So Nouns, don't let it happen again. That guy made it just a little bit shaky for a second. But you couldn't get the critical kills at the critical juncture. So ATK, we'll have to go back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board, but more importantly, Nounscxzi onto a hot start here on map number 3. Now, I feel like every individual on this team should be great on this map for Nouns. I think it's just putting the pieces together, making a whole picture. B-Wolves will grab a couple, but MoTM and Bowden have found 2 kills with the USP on this mid-scrim. And that's a rifle potentially picked up for the CT side as well to work with. MoTM at least has the MAC-10. He'll swing around, gets tagged down by Carson, who's still extending on this one. Running low on ammunition, does take down 1 more, all down to MoTM on 21 HP. Gonna try and run down Carson, it seems. Bomb's gonna go down on A in the meantime. Carson gets the finisher. Nouns go up 3-0. Here comes the real test, though, as ATK are gonna get the op for Bowden and a full buy across the board. Nouns, though, off to a good start. It's not a good map for the Mirage, but they do play it a lot. 33.3% win rate. Negative 42 round differential, Mike. That's over 2 maps of Counter-Strike in the red.
Yeah. Not a deal. Not.
Oh. Lots of damage.
It is indeed. MoTM's going hunting with this AWP as well. They've gone right to the double off the rip. MoTM's going to give them a nice opening pick as a result. So B apps closed for business. It's the man of the match.
They should know it's double, though.
That's going to turn this into a pretty straightforward A-take. Smokes, they've got 2 of them. Lots of mollies. It's somewhat interesting. They can make life hellish on the site itself, but with 4 players leaning this direction, ATK are well set up for it. Is going to come to utility. 1 single smoke. Interesting lineup. They expect Fadey to buy the boxes. Interesting spot. He'll see 1 player go past. He's not been checked yet. And eventually he's just trying to bring that kill through. Didn't want to press his luck. Does get 2 out of the angle. Ooh, Bowden can't quite capitalize. And now Bowden under pressure. That'll be a trade, but it's a 1v2 for George. And we've seen him pull these off before. He's got 50 seconds. He's got some time. Get that knife away. Swisher running into this. Giving himself up for dead. Did not expect that play, apparently. Will be everything here. MoTM in the angle, but he misses the shot. He got the tag. He got the tag,
Oof.
Boggs. Down to 5 points of health, but George brings it through.
He got the tag, but not the frag. Couldn't put him in the body bag. And a nice clutch from George. Not his first of the night, but probably a bigger one than his first of the night, which is back on Inferno. Gives him a 4-0 start on the T side of Mirage. CT side is where ATK are the best. Almost a 70% win rate on their CT rounds on this map. And only 45% on the T side. 33% or 34% on this side of the map for Nouns on the T side. And they've already got 4 rounds of 15 possible. They're on pace for equalizing that. They need 5. But if they can grab 6, 7, as many rounds as they can get, they give themselves a better and better position. Although Cynic does get picked off first. Fadey's Deagle has found a marker, and he's grabbed an AK because of it. Bowden will drop through. Molotov will not harm him. Fadey, though, spammed down by B-Wills. It's a critical kill to find. Takes down the rifle. Takes down a key player. And now Nouns are going to go in towards B, where there was a double op setup last time. Will not be an op setup here. As all. ATK definitely can't afford that. Although Nouns are really pushing their luck with the clock, and it did hurt them a couple of times on overpass. You have to be careful. The B blitz is not necessarily easy, especially with all the information MisteM has over towards A.
Yeah, that's a big kill. They just need to deal with Swisher backside. Clock will no longer be a concern. And indeed, that's going to be the case. Bomb will move in. Plant will be done. Bowden may just consider saving his AK. I'm actually even surprised he's getting this close. Yeah. Discretion's the better part of Valor. An AK, salvage, stolen, early. Well, that's a nice find.
It's a nice boost. He can toss it over to somebody. He'll go back to his op. MisteM will play for exits. Try and grab somebody here. Opportunity. Oh, they're ready for it. Flash goes in. He comes up, and MisteM does spam down 1. B-Wills will trade him back. They will not find Bowden, though. He's chilling out in Palace. Still 2 kills. Not too shabby, all things considered, for ATK. Didn't really go into them too much. But 5 rounds in a row to kick this one off for Nouns. I think they're starting to settle into their groove. A timeout call. This has to be ATK. There's no way Nouns call a timeout when they're winning rounds like this. Yeah, it is an ATK timeout. But how do you fix things for ATK when part of the problem has been just being dominated in the aim duels?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're too concerned just yet, right? I don't think this needs to be a catastrophic conversation. I think it's just you dial up the play for 1 round. You identify a few keys. And you settle. I don't think you've had enough of a sample size of gun rounds to be majorly concerned just yet. You do say, hey, maybe if you're playing a 2v1, don't pull your knife out. Come on, guys.
That's kind of basic.
That was a bit of a blunder. That should have been around for ATK by most expectations.
Probably shouldn't have been running in that situation either.
Yeah, perhaps. But we'll see. We'll see. It's still early days. But this is the round where if you drop it, you start to get very concerned. Bowden, that's not quite where the molly was supposed to go. The molly to deny the specific smoke angle. And it just means he can't get in the window this time around. Ooh, that's a bold check from Fadey. And a bold death. Boosted specifically for that fight, specifically for that peak to be above the smoke. And a man advantage early on for Nouns. They're playing this nicely. Swisher might be able to bring this back. Carson just under him. He's not going to realize it, not in time. So back away.
Now he knows.
A mid control's been seeded. So that's a lot of space now held by Nouns.
They know the secondary option towards Zaps again. Most likely that's MOTM. He's a B player, and he is known to be on B with that op shot ringing through. Bowden, of course, has his, so I think Nouns do know there's a double op setup in play once again from ATK. Every gun round they've had, they've gone for the double op so far on this map. And it's Bowden getting dropped by 6. MisteM has to get everything done here, but George was ready for it. It is too late. And they might just leave B-Wills to watch for the flank, too. Somebody should be watching for the ramp flank, because George was watching his backside.
No one's doing it. All right.
No.
So it's back on for MisteM. Promise you're losing people in front, and now no one's really exposed. Once the bomb goes down, yeah, the potential for this is kind of already done with. The player in Sandwich should be well able to deal with it, and even if not, I mean, There's so much more to do in the post. Just too late developing, and the front couldn't hold. The front couldn't hold in the slightest. No one will make it out of this one. This is dominant from Nouns, and now if you're on ATK, you can be very concerned.
Yeah, it's not quite hit the panic button and run around crazy just yet. The aliens aren't above every single major landmark in the world. They haven't opened up the bay doors. They're not shooting things yet, but the ships have at least been spotted by outer relays. So ATK can see the motherships coming. They know what's about to happen. Now, can they land a preemptive strike before things get too messy? That's the question. Or are they going to have to rely on Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum to make things work? Swisher, that's a big opening. Maybe a little bit more MOTM on the balcony. He will get circumnavigated, but Swisher will help out. Upgrades now. And more tags on the Carson. MOTM up close and personal. There's the bomb. 6C and George. Now just 6C left alone on a 1v5. He's got one, but he's dinked down. And ATK have found a way to strike back the heart of Nouns and find potentially a victory and an op. They've got the victory. Do they have the big green gun? No, they don't.
That's fine.
But it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, they can reinvest if they want it. That's a real life find. This was looking catastrophic. The one rifle dealing some serious damage, making it happen here. This was looking like it was potentially just one of those absolutely get smacked in the final moments of a series type of situation. ATK running out of steam, but that's going to be rejuvenating for them. That's going to be some energy injected back in, and now this dueling towards mid. Well, this is going to get spicy. Fadey's looking for the fight. Can't quite realize it, but at least some damage and some space taken. Trade over on A. Pressure being found as B-Wills wanted to go looking elsewhere. It's all cynic, but this might trigger them into the group up for the B hit, and then pressure's going to be onto MOTM. He's on an engagement. He could get utility down, but wary. Wanted to get back and want to bring Swisher into support.
It's not a great situation for Nouns to be in right now. Yes, they still have equal numbers. They still have the op in 60, but they're kind of stuck. They don't really have an inroad anywhere. They've already exposed the op on A. They're going to go through middle. Fadey going to try and counter this one. Smoke will ward off his push towards snipers. Nade will come through from Cat. Carson, that's a big shot into Swisher. But there still are two players to deal with on the A side. Fadey around the smoke. He knows there's players here. He's going to go on through, but he gets run down by George. Bowden and MOTM now have to pull off the hero play in the 2-on-4. MOTM and Bowden, 2 quick kills. MOTM with another, and then Bowden for the 1v1 onto Carson. ATK 2 rounds in a row now. And perhaps they have found a way to string something together. They keep it a bit messy. They don't keep it clean. Hey, the round's the round. They need it.
The round is certainly the round. They got enough cash that even with the one survivor, they'll be able to invest back in. But it also represents an opportunity for Nouns. They know this economy hasn't quite stabilized just yet. Nouns wants to keep the threat up. Here's where the party will stop. The music will end for Nouns if they can't convert here. But these rounds have been so very messy. You gotta understand the temptation. Pause in. Time being taken to discuss, certainly not to discuss the buy since that's already happened.
Yep.
But it is announced timeout to figure out how they want to approach this one.
What's the call from Semphis? They do have a MAC-10, so presumably get that somewhere fast. Unless they want a late Palace pop. I don't think that's going to be the call, though. They have the rifles around it. Probably just send that MAC-10 somewhere, either apps or underpass. Close the gap, grab a kill. And Cynic's going to go in towards under. Making all the noise in the world. Swisher. Still tunnel vision up top middle. Carson gets kneecapped right there. Tosses the nade down as well. Cynic will back away. Fadey takes a bit of damage, but no real engagement taken by either side so far. $1:28 on the clock.
The issue is going to be limited utility, right? You only got 3 smokes. One flash is going to make it really brutal actually getting towards the site. That's on B-Wills.
The Molotovs could help.
One already spent. That does force the fight out from Swisher, so this alleviates a lot of pressure. It is going to be the mid pinch in towards A. Another molly spent. It's just down to the smokes and the flash now, and Well, with the positioning set up, Atk, there's not going to be a lot to blind them. This should be a decent hold. Fadey gets one, only one. Damage onto the next, but damage is not a kill. That is... Ooh, the trades. The trades are good. They're doing it by the might of their gun. And MisteM's in an awkward spot. MOTM not close enough to support him, so now MOTM's in a 1v3. This is a catastrophe. Just the guns. Plenty available for Nouns, and at this point, MOTM has a tough decision to make, and it seems like he may be making the call to save.
I think that's the correct decision. Going for this 1v3, probably not going to win you anything. Saving the M4 at least gives your team something to half buy around. Either way, though, it's not a good spot for Atk to be in. It's a 7th on the board for Nouns, responding well off the timeout again. That's one thing they've done very well, is recovering after the timeout. MOTM goes for the skill jump there. Guess just showing off that he can do that. Smart by 60 to get rid of the op, then grab the other. He also upgrades the skin, too. So, you know, living up to the classic skins equal wins philosophy, which we all know is 100% true and accurate.
100% true and accurate.
Totally not just a mental thing.
For your information, by the way, if you're watching, close your ears if you don't want spoilers for the other games. What would be going on there? 2-0 for MIBR over EG Black. 19-16 in the first, nice overtime, and then a 16-6 Vertigo game to put that one to bed. Team 1 Brazens in the third map. That's spicy.
Mm-hmm. Brazen with that Mirage victory. Pretty impressive there, because Team 1 are a very good Mirage team. I think that was a shocker. It's a force up, too, from Atk. They have 4 M4s, so it's a solid buy. Bowden relegated to the MP9. But this is still a round where Atk can definitely bite. It's not going to be all bark. Now, will they actually be able to chomp down on anything, or are they going to be grasping at air? That's the other question. Defaulty here from Nouns again. But they have an inkling that Atk are pushed up middle, which Atk have definitely done multiple times. Is there a flash for George? There are. He's going to self-flash in and get mowed down because Bowden is going to push him. MisteM swings for Cynic. Big kills out mid for Atk.
That definitely alleviates the pressure into this round. Fadey will collect one as well. B-Wills had thought he'd found a gap. Turns out, he just turned his back. The real enemy. So this round's a bit of a non-starter. Economic damage at this point would be nice. Over, they just go for the T-side save, but it's so early and there's so much time to play with that I don't think they want to risk that. So Carson will try and do something to blemish the record of Atk in this round. He's now plotted his positions. Known, he's tagged up. He's down to 5 points of health, and MisteM will escort him into the next life. Big round win for Atk. Most importantly, big round win for their economy.
It's a huge round win for their economy. Gives them a bit of a foundation to build upon as well. Right now, they don't even have an earthen fort set up, Mike. They have no defenses yet. But they can start to build something with a clean win here against the Pistols. Start to enact some nice earthenwork walls. Maybe even have some wood behind it. But E-Wills. There's the Deagle shot. And MisteM sat down. Swisher and MOTM eating damage. But Cynic taken down. Still not a comfortable situation for Atk. Swisher making it more so, though. Carson's P250's done so much damage. But still, the damage is dealt. The kills have not been found for Nouns.
Ooh, all right, there's one collected. Fadey taking him through, and yeah, the Deegs is just not quite having the same bite that they're hoping for. Damage in the name of the game, much as it was at the tail end of the last. With Swisher and MOTM both low. I mean, this site's got some vulnerability. They could get a couple quick kills here and get a bomb plant. I mean, that would be a miracle. Not going to happen just yet. And indeed, MOTM will keep things clean. So 5 players alive in the last, 4 in this one. Atk, they've been late to get involved in this half, but something has clicked. Something has settled down here in this defense. And now Nouns, coming to their next bye, it's going to be up against a bit of a stouter front.
A much stouter front. Oh, actually, Bowden's still on the MP9, so it's not going to be too much different from the last round. Atk, what are they going to do here? pretty equivalent, actually, overall. I mean, the one difference being the Galil instead of an M4 or an AK. George eats some molly damage. A lot of aggression out towards B, as a matter of fact. Fadey has to hold the line here. Does have some support from Swisher. And Nouns will actually back off of this. A second Molotov to chase them away fully. Swisher will rotate in towards Cowalk, try and pincer in middle. But Bowden's pushed all the way through T-ramp. Carson is waiting for it, though. He's on the angle. He spots the head, but he misses the shots. Finally connects it. A little bit belabored, a little bit delayed. But the opening pick again go the way of Nouns. Last round it was a deagle opener. This time they have the guns behind it. And it's only the MP9 that goes down first. So it's not a terrible gun to lose for ATK. It's just the extra manpower. And now the fact that their aggression panned out for nothing at all.
Amps the pressure up.
Yeah, look what MoTM's doing.
In a big way. Fadey. Only line here in apps does mean he's rather isolated into the angle. Swisher will be the next one to overcome, and well, he just gets deleted, so Swisher, congratulations, you're up to the plate. Time for a swing. Make that a swing and a miss, and that's the round, folks. It's going to be a save. Even with the last couple working out for them, you can't just be throwing rifles away, so bomb down. Nouns back in control here. An 8th round found that already makes for a very dang good T-side half, but Nouns are going to try and take this momentum back and build it into more double digits potentially on the deck. I mean, it's certainly achievable, and they would be loving it.
Oh yeah, they are going to be hunting for those double digits, and boy, would that be that would be a response for Nouns, especially after that narrow victory on Overpass. You know, Mike, though, the baseball analogy very accurate for Swisher's name. His name comes from Oakland Athletics player Nick Swisher. And that's where he got his tag from. Carson cannot get the AK out of the hands of MisteM. It's a key save for ATK, gives them a little bit more to fight with. But I will say, Swish didn't necessarily live up to his namesake's legacy with that strikeout there on B.
Yes, baseball. A thing that I know things about.
It's October, man. It's postseason for baseball.
It's because it's after the season, so we stopped talking about it. Got it. No, I
You never played baseball as a kid, Mike?
What?
You never played baseball as a kid?
Not really. No, I think maybe a little bit of t-ball when I was like a wee little lad, but no, baseball was never my thing. Can't say I ever really did.
You didn't miss much.
I think I probably would have been the kid who gets stuck as far out in the outfield as possible.
Stuck in right?
Sure. Man advantage here for Nouns. Minute 10 left on the clock. No longer. Oh, they're moving on in. Bowden collects the first. A little disjointed here. That drops the bomb as well. So miscue for Nouns. No one else seemed to be ready to go in. And now Fadey capitalizes on B-Wills. Very disjointed. And it's going from bad to worse. Utility comes back from the CT side. They retrieve the bomb at the very least. And, well, 40 seconds. There is actually time for the rotate. And look at the space that Sixty's managed to take. Nobody remains on B. They didn't leave anybody behind. So Sixty is going to let himself in the front door.
That's
okay,
huge.
the door hits him on his way in. Breaks a tooth. Now it's looking like a catastrophe here for the downside. They get nothing going. And this one's a non-starter, just left to Carson in a 1v4. Gonna make something happen here. Can't land the headshots. He's not going to get too many opportunities for this one. Will deal some damage, but Bowden puts him into the dirt.
That's a clutch gun shuffle from Bowden. Swisher can toss it over to MoTM again. Good heads-up play there. The double op paying some dividends for ATK. They have really wanted to get that every opportunity they can. And Nouns don't really have a lot of money left over. Carson on a tech. Cynic probably going to go Galil. No, he's going to go AK armor, minimal utility. So the utility a bit light for Nouns. They have plenty of flash bings. That's the one thing they do have this time, Mike. There's been rounds in the past where they've had nothing but smokes and mollies. This time, it's all flashes. They've used quite a bit, but they're going to run in towards BL lineup potential for MoTM. Does he get the kebab? In comes the utility, in comes the flashes. He does pick off one, drops the ball, he still sticks around, and will not get a sec. Actually does, from the grave.
Yep. Burn him alive. Burn him alive. Another Molotov's going to go in as well. Now they've dealt with George out towards mid, so any second dimension of this attack is gone. It's all going to be about these wounded players trying to make their way in. It is a 2v3. There's still plenty of time to play with, but the health, not so much. 45 points between two players. And a top mid hold coming through from MisteM. So what do you want to do? What's the approach? Seems like they were just going to give it a tick on a reset. And Nounscxzi's going to give it another look-see-loo on in towards B.
Definitely feels like a pick a death, any death situation for Nouns right now.
To
Just
be
where do you
fair,
wanna
them
die?
spending some time has allowed the CT side to spread out. MisteM doesn't have vision. For all he knows, they've actually gone through top mid and back in towards spawn. ATK aren't
Yeah, I
over
think-
rotating, but now look at this. Swisher is left. Someone has to go check A. And apparently that's going to be
That's true.
Swisher. So this is a path to a bomb plant. Now it's just putting a beat into this one. Opens up a ton of space. All it's going to take is
And if
one
it-
quick headshot on Bowden. And that's not going to happen. Never mind. Bowden, good for it. Gets the first. Looking for more. Carson will force the bomb plant, knowing that he's got that option. But this post plant, that's going to be a different question.
He's not been the snappiest tonight, but he has played much better on Mirage than he has in the previous two maps. Maybe he can get this one a little bit better. The nade's perfectly placed, though. MisteM will get the dunk. There will be no further harm from Carson, and the double ops move forward into the next round, 2 for ATK. MOTM on the op in apps has just been so critical for ATK on their holds towards B. They haven't really been able to get by him Nouns when he's had the op up in apps. So it's definitely been a key part of their successes here in the last couple of rounds. But there still is a chance for 9-6 for Nouns. Still 9 rounds on the T side of Mirage. Very, very good. 8 rounds on the T side of Mirage is very, very good. So I think they're happy with 8. If they can find a way to get 9, they'll be even happier. Nounscxi's on the Glock.
Glock,
He has nothing but a Glock and utility.
Nounscxzi, they call him. Fast play. Straight rush
back
on.
10.
MOTM, good luck with that AWP. You better need quite a few. No teammates close at hand. He's just getting run down so very blind. Into the smoke he's gone. And somehow he's evaded them all. What is happening right now? Okay, finally he's going to die. Thank you. Some standing restored. The bomb can't be planted because MisteM is right into the fight. He's got him so low, the nade will take B-Wills out of play. No, they're dancing with the pistols. B-Wills. A rifle picked up, but the reload not going to be allowed. 8-7 is the scoreline as we hit the halftime break. the slimmest of leads. An 8-7 half. Nouns theoretically at the advantage as we head into the CT side, but realistically, from what we've seen from this series, I don't think there's any way you can predict anything any which way. What now?
Where have we seen an 8-7 lead before, Mike? I feel like I've never seen the scoreline before.
Like every map.
Every single map, it's been 8-7. And the team that's been leading 8-7 going into the second half has lost each time,
Is that true?
I believe.
Well, that's a fun
Wait, no,
coincidence,
no,
but
they've won.
ultimately a meaningless
They've won.
statistic.
They won. The team leading at half won.
Ah, all right.
I got it
Nouns,
wrong.
congratulations on the dub. We don't even need to play the second half out, apparently.
I like my patterns.
But I think we might.
We might have to. We'll see.
Just maybe.
We'll see how much of a second half we actually get, too.
Well, how much of a CT side? That's always the challenge, I think, for Nouns, right? They love their aggression so much that at times they can get a little antsy. This time is not one of those times. Carson's doing a good job of holding some restraint. Palm needs to go down because this retake's going to be swift. 3 players are already back by ticket. Ready to fight for it. Palm will be planted. That can't be denied, but now a 5-on-5 retake. This is going to get spicy. Full plan towards jungle. Odin finding the first. This alleviates some pressure. It's starting to work out very nicely. When the smoke fades on connector, maybe Cynic can do a little bit more, but he's actually going to find one player towards mid. They're just sticking the defuse. No idea. No idea there for Atk. He will get away with daylight robbery. Yes, he'll get slashed on down, so that's money made for Swisher, but the round win is all B. William.
B. Wills with the ninja. MisteM. Wait, Bowden's got an op in round 2 because of the knife kill. I freaking love this call from Atk. All right, you want to pull out the ninja? Cool. We'll pull out the op. We'll see who has more fun. Bowden also has the mid spawn. Does not take the shot, but do they spot it or do they assume it's a scout? Because that's the thing. You do probably tell that there's a sniper rifle in the hands of Atk. With a knife kill, you have to know the op's a possibility here. Definitely a dangerous one. Cynic going in towards Khan, playing with his life right now. Bowden can definitely give him a free ticket down the river Styx. Cynic
Cynic's gonna push
walking through the smoke. He can get the drop. He's the timing.
Play, but it's going to work out. 1 for 1, though. MisteM, good on the trade. Still taking Bodemaster out is always going to be a nice feather in the cap early on. Queen off the chessboard type of situation. So they're moving up catwalk. B-Will's ready for it. Readjust. Smoke down. Carson's position to farm is going to be massive, especially because they're not checking for it. Uh-oh. The late play from Swisher is now coming back to bite them. It's Carson. He's even ready for this fight. Won't last much longer, but Nounscxi's able to trade it. So this is a very good hold bomb to play off of. Pressure on an MOTM alone. Might even just turn into a T-side save, but George won't even allow that possibility. No way, no how. Nouns find 10.
Ooh. Can't get the op, though. That would have been icing on the cake for Nouns. That would have been salt in the wound for Atk. Who now have to debate whether or not they want to full save this one. They will full save it. Oh, they'll have deagles. It's a deco. It's essentially, for all intents and purposes, a save here. 3 MP9s for Nouns, though. 2 rifles. Maybe the Eagles could do some damage. Fadey's a P250 as well. There are helmets on all 5 Nouns players, though, so getting the 1 tap with the P250 is not going to be possible. Cynic with all the mid control as well. Molotov to clear out boxes. He'll just swing on through. Might even get the bomb as well. It's a Glock for Bowden that defends the bomb, and Cynic's on the hunt. In the meantime, though, George has fallen. Cynic, does he clear the stairwell? No, he don't.
Uh-oh.
Knife kill.
Another knife went in. Okay, that is our second knife kill of this map so far. Second knife kill of
the
this half,
half,
actually. Slipping one right in between the blade. I know Eyeballers published a highlight reel of JW knife. And I think Bowden Master might have given it a watch.
Yeah, I got to go watch that now, because that sounds amazing.
Bomb's down tall mid. Nounscxi's got a beat on it. So Swisher wants to retrieve this. He's going to have to duel with the rifle. It's not exactly a fun prospect.
Not the worst, though. He does have Deagle. All he needs is a headshot.
All he needs is a headshot. All we all need is a headshot.
Not to receive, but to deliver.
Isn't that the story of Counter-Strike? The fight's easy.
Yep.
Just click their heads.
Yeah, just click head, forehead.
No challenge. Just headshot everybody, and it's all going to be fine.
Well, Bowden has his op again. That's nice because of the knife kill. No op for Nounscxzi or anybody on the Nouns side. As a matter of fact, the money for Nouns is technically not great. They have dropped some MP9s in spawn. They have upgraded it to the M4s. They have a good amount of utility behind this buy as well. But again, Bowden with the op is a very dangerous customer. I do like your queen on the chessboard analogy. Does seem apt for Bowden with his performances on both Overpass and here in Mirage so far. And down goes Cynic.
All right. We actually saw Nouns deploy that exact same boost to find an opening pick in the first half, so a little bit of revenge here for Bodenmaster, perhaps. And an opening pick to ease up this mid presence.
The only thing is all it took out was an MP9.
Yeah,
Of
but
all
it
the
looked
guns,
cool.
it's the least impactful.
It looked
Yeah, it did look
cool, and it's one crosshair out.
Style
advantage
points.
always going to be nice. Doesn't matter what gun they were holding.
I like the cat play from Atk, but B-Wills, if they don't clear him out, is going to be in a great spot to shut this down. Even if he gets one, he could do some damage if he gets away. He's got the Molotov, but he goes forward too far. Gets punished. Carson now is to hold it off from balcony. Do they clear this angle, though? Oh, he's been spotted. Nice jump spot, but he still got one? This is doable.
Definitely is 2v3. Tough spot, though. Decent control. Lots going to come down to 60 on the flank. Coming up through apps. Do they read this? They should have an idea that this is a possibility, certainly. 60 will be able to retrieve a kit on his way over. MoTM, I think, is the player watching for this.
Yep.
Yeah, now it is just 60 making his way out. MoTM holding, and that is full control for Atk. Their first round of the second half, well, it's a goodie.
It is indeed, and it comes at a pretty critical time as well. Nouns is probably not going to be able to full buy into this next round either, letting Atk close this gap to just 2 rounds. Yeah, it's going to be USPs, maybe a couple drop pistols. B-Wills could even hero rifle this. He's got a good amount of cash built up. He will hero rifle it. There will be a deagle for George, and in classic Nouns fashion, somebody will buy a little overzealously and will be on a weaker weapon in the following round. Nounscxzi will grab a deagle late as well. Cynic will burn, and he will roast. He will be fried. He will be barbecued. And B-Wills will only be good for 1. That's just not good enough on the hero rifle. Nounscxzi gets spotted. Missed him with 2. That should mop up the round pretty much for Atk there. And only 1 casualty. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, it's not done just yet. Carson with the USB. Carson with the USB. And that's why it's not done just yet. Gun gained. Second gun available here in towards mid. That can be retrieved by George. I don't know whether they're going to try and risk these rifles to get something more out of the round. I'd imagine this turns into a save.
Probably
Carson might imagine something else. All right, the Molly makes a decision for them. 2 guns. That's a treasure trove of wealth out of this round. Time to scamper away.
Save the AK, save the M4, buy up next, get the op. Try and stack on 5 more rounds. All they need is 5 more rounds, although it's not going to be the easiest 5 of their lives. They had an arrow victory over Team 1 last night. It was a 16-13 did Nouns on this very map. Team 1, good Mirage team, so it's a big win for Nouns. But still, this series in particular has been very messy, very close, and has come down to the thinnest of margins. In fact, a little bit of pistol magic is what has brought us to a third. Nounscxzi does get his op, has no utility behind it. Plenty of utility on the rest of the squad, though, although the flashbangs are a little lacking, so retake could be a bit of an issue. Atk, though, have everything they need. I like that from Swisher. Toss the smoke, buy a nade. Misses the smoke, though, so I guess I don't like it too much.
Yeah. Better to only have 1 piece of utility used effectively, I think. Molotov in. That's going to burn out Cynic. That'll force a smoke from the CT side, so that's something to play with. Aggression coming through? No, not quite. Thought that might be a check-in towards chair, but instead it's a nade. Bye, MisteM. Run the space program here. And Nouns have an early lead. Been a couple rounds since they've had that. Nice to find.
Especially on the CT side. But their utility, Mike. They have a flash and a smoke. They have no utility with a $1.11 on the clock.
Utility's just there to slow you down. Just quick heads.
That is kind of the Nouns MO before Semphis came along.
Still is
Since
sometimes.
Semphis has come along. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Carson being back in this roster is like the meme of, forgive me, I have to go
Minus
back to
twice,
the
plus
old
twice.
me, where it's Bugs Bunny holding a gun. That's what's happening right now, I think, with some of the aggression coming through.
Fair enough.
Speaking of
I
aggression,
like this push from George, though.
George is an underpass. He clears it out. He's got the info. He comes back. This is going to be a really interesting fight. There's only 30 seconds. 30 seconds. If they're going to go, they're going to go now.
Is this a save? This might be a save, Mike.
I mean, I think it is at this point. Ain't done
It
nothing.
should be.
20 seconds. It's not a take, I'll tell you that much.
If it's a take, it's the straightest one I've ever seen, and Cynic will get one out of that. Well worth the death, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt him a little bit.
He just needs to die before time. He's a goner. There's no way he gets out of this round, and they are very charitable in spamming him down before that clock expires.
Yeah, charitable, definitely a good description of that. They grant him clemency. Could have really gone for the punish there. I think they wanted to minimize their casualties, so they're like, all right, we already lost one. We don't have money. Let's just win. But now they're only 4 away. They're up by 3. They're by from ATK, but no bomb plant last round means that they are not the richest team in the world. MoTM all the way down mid, though. A full sprint towards Khan. Ooh, that's a big pick from 60, though. And he's not going to back off fully. He's going to reposition. Just taking the first fight, backing away, going for another. Drops the Molotov. Ooh, barely gets out of that one. Quite literally playing with fire, although he doesn't get burned by his own Molotov or by anybody else. MisteM goes 1 for 1. Carson with a 1-tap. And Carson, I think, is back, Mike. I think he's back. He's towards the top of the scoreboard. He's hitting heads again. Just took him 2 maps, I'll say 4 maps because the prior series as well, to really get back into the swing of things.
Mirage always suited him.
Yep.
See if that keeps gelling. It is the spoken word need for why they made the move, right? They wanted some more firepower out of the position. Thought that Carson could better serve that purpose than Jazz. This looks like we're getting another T-side save. 40 seconds. I mean, I guess they could go on the smoke fade. Still got some flashes for it.
Is there anyone watching apps?
Yeah. B-Wills.
B-Wills, yeah. He's been going back and forth between apps and cat.
20 seconds. They're saving.
Yep. Definitely
Well,
not
now.
cooking anything up in kitchen.
This is starting to get very nerve-wracking for ATK. Can have no loss bonus in this one. Presumably a force buy comes around these 2 guns. But at that point, we're getting very late in the half. 13 rounds going to be on the board for Nouns. This is a little tense.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the ATK side's been as potent as a Matt Nagy play call. It's been a little rough here on Mirage. Real rough.
I think that's a pretty niche reference there.
If anyone gets it, hats off to them.
Feels like you're bullying me a little bit.
I do it to all my Bears fan friends. I know a lot of Bears fans, which is, I don't know why. I just seem to know a lot of Bears fans. A fandom that deserves more.
Yeah.
ATK need more, though.
They do. They do need more. I mean, this round's going to be critical, right? This is a big gamble. If they drop here, it's 14 on the board for Nouns. It's an eco in the next. You're presumably playing for overtime. So for ATK, this is the critical juncture. This is where you're hoping to get things done. Keep this game contentious. Aggression from Carson in towards mid. He's going to dodge the flashbang, and that's a ripper of a shot early on. Missed him down and out. Seems like this is going to be a straight-up A play, and George is positioned to make that difficult. He's being chased, but comes up with the first. Now he's got 4 players above him. It could be all falling apart here. Beginning and the end, it seems, and George is taking them to that finish. Bodenmaster a shot back, but it's chaos here. It's distinctly falling apart. Cynic's already going on the flank. He's already going to crowd these players on it and make sure they can't get out. There's still a minute 10 to play with it. ATK, the options are dwindling, and Bowden now has been put on notice, and he knows it.
Playing a dangerous angle, too, with the op. He misses a shot. He could definitely be dead on his health. It's not going to be an overextension from Nouns either. They got plenty of time to make ATK sweat. They don't need to rush the issue. They don't need to force it. They can take their time. They got all the time in the pocket right now, Mike.
I'm a little surprised that Carson has gone back to check B. What's the comms here? They should know the players are hemmed in, right? Cynic has given up
maybe
all
there could
the
have been a
space.
lurker.
B-Wolves had gone in to support him. They've kind of just fallen into a really standard defense, which I guess they're just going to let ATK save. I actually wonder whether that was the call, to let them T-side save, to mean that they're never going to get a clean round.
It probably could be, which would be big brain. I think it would be a really good call. They did have time to discuss this, too, because ATK called a timeout in the prior round. Or going into this round, I should say, so...
I don't think they would have exactly discussed this during the timeout of, hey...
Well, he could have said, let them save
T-side save again if they get to it. I think that's more an insta-call, but...
Well, they don't have a lot of money, either.
Very curious about what ATK is going to do here, right? Because you can no longer just eco, so you're going to force, and then do a force in the next if it doesn't work out. You've given yourselves a situation where you never have a proper gun round in this last spate.
Mm-hmm. And you can't even say it's the force by Wars, because they're the only ones forcing up. They call another timeout, definitely to discuss this, but... It almost seems inevitable at this point that ATK are going to have to make the lower bracket run. Because Nouns have all the advantages. Momentum, rounds, money, weapons. And they also still have a secret weapon in George, who hasn't had to do too much on this map. It's kind of just been activated here and there. Like that last round where he had the play from Helm. Real good stuff. There's a Deagle, a Glock, and a Deeg. The Op and the AK have to do it all. ATK are banking on this or banking on 6 in a row to take it to overtime. Neither seems like a good proposition.
No.
Neither seems like good odds.
60, that's a bit of a dangerous angle. Don't want to get caught and give an op over. No need to reinforce this buy in any way, shape, or form. It's a mid presence. This time, not finding the early results. ATK learning a little bit about how they like to pace this. Okay, not learning that much. Oh! 60 stuck in the angle. Bowden baiting his pistol player perfectly. And here we go. Fadey's going to make things interesting. A man advantage now found for ATK. The pistols, the Deagles finding effect. How does Nouns react? Just the one towards A. The rotation's headed that direction, but it's going to be slow and methodical. So there's all sorts of chance to adjust, and B-Wolves may just be doing that. George and Sandwich. He's going to have a tough spot here. He's going to have a tough angle. At least there's no util. There's a single flashbang to catch. So presumably Fadey hucks that over, and they just waterfall out Palace.
If there's one player you want to be anchoring, though, for Nouns, it's probably George. They have a lot of confidence in him, and they're actually making the right read. They've abandoned B. B-Wolves is here to support. Carson's going to go through CT spawn. George is biding his time. Swings out wide, has one. Drops the smoke. Can he do more? Swings out for the second, sprays him down. B-Wolves is here. It's all down to Fadey, and his chances are fading into smoke. It's down to 15 for Nouns, and ATK 6 behind with what could not be called the best of full buys here. They should be able to get everything. The utility might be a bit sparse, but 6 in a row required to take it to overtime. George, big when called upon again. And let's see, Galil for Swisher, minimal utility, no helmets on 3 players, up against M4s, no big green gun for Nouns. And will they even miss it? That's a better question, because Sixy still very competent on the rifle. ATK with a B lean, bomb out C. The defaulting up, but George peeking in towards ramp has a lot of info, and so does Carson pushing up through apps. The confidence is overflowing from Nouns now, and ATK have given Nouns every bit of momentum this very explosive team needs. They look scared. And why shouldn't they be?
Well, you can see in their eyes.
Can't see it in the smiles. There are no smiles.
Oh, MoTM saving Fadey's life. Fadey, though, got a death wish, sticking around in the angle. 60 Boynan. But he's still up for now. Positioning in towards the window. I mean, he's everywhere at this point. And the double push apps, this is going to be huge. This is interesting. Carson just around the corner. Oh, can't capitalize. Should have had one there, most likely, but instead, Swisher swings it back the other way. 60 trying to catch this, but it's all on a George. He was the guy who made it happen on A, but he's out of position this time. He's not the side anchor. He's got to try and make the move. Part of this may just be about economic damage, but Bowden's on the angle, needs the headshot, and he's got exactly that. Well, bodies. But nonetheless, it's going to be a round win for ATK. They will get a chance to try and bring this into overtime.
Chance. 5 more required. It'll be a slog. But now 60's got the op back. The rifles are there for Nouns, and ATK, they have everything they need. Of course, down the stretch, the money will get more difficult for the CT side. So as the rounds progress, ATK get more and more of an opportunity at dink onto Bowden, but not the kill. That's a problem for Nouns. They go down a man. There has been no refrag. The nade will not connect onto Bowden either, goes short of the chair. That'll allow him to post up, back away towards top middle. And ATK can now play with the man advantage with a lot of time on the clock. Try and see if they can catch Nouns getting aggressive. Although Nouns have looked very disciplined throughout the course of this map. Cynic now might be sticking his neck out a little too far. Clears out chair. Will he clear boxes properly? Because MisteM is being hung out to dry. He has no support. It's a bit of a gamble as to what side he checks. Fadey also taking down low. Cynic, he's not going to check it. That's the second time he's done this, Mike, where he's just walked up mid and not checked boxes, and he's died to the boxes player both times.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't know how to rationalize that one, but this might just turn into a save. A lot of teams would just pull a gamble stack here in a 2v5. You're not really fancying your chances. Try and group up. If they hit your site, great. If they don't, also fine. Oh boy. Okay. 60 gone. Now Carson's just playing hide and seek with the one gun that they're going to save through. It's going to be an eco in the next, presumably. ATK. They're doing this. They've waited very late in this half to get started. But they're doing it now. And MisteM's still around to see if he can hunt.
Can they dig through the ditches?
No guns for you.
Definitely really going to have to dig through the ditches now.
Well, they'll just eco one. Plenty of time still.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time. So that's, what, 11 on the board for ATK.
Yep.
That's fine. So you eco this one. 12 rounds up. You fight in the next.
Again, it's 14.
That gives you 2 gun rounds before this is overtime. This is fine. Can't be fun with the gun
I picture
rounds.
you like the dog in the flaming house meme saying this is fine when you say that.
Can't be giving them opportunities. They definitely let, them off the hook. They eased up on the gas at a critical juncture, but that's been a problem for Nouns quite a few times for this particular squad. So the trick, if you're in their comms right now, is to settle it down and say, look, we've got 2 gun rounds. 2 gun rounds, 2 chances. Let's put it away in the first one. Just play our game. Relax. There's no need to panic just yet. So I would wager the comms getting a little bit more hectic.
You would make a really good coach.
And those are the moments where things get out of control. Cynic with a deagle is the only player on this side of the map. Unless we see the deagle round of the game. Did get one, but that's ultimately not likely to matter. Bomb's going to go down. This round should be just about secured for ATK. There's no reason not to chase. USP's certainly not anything to save, so let's see if we can't get a gun. Save the Nouns players. And at least in window, the answer is they cannot.
Karsten Bwills will try the very same thing. Probably to the same result as their teammates fallen in window. Well, maybe Carson's just going to save top boxes. Because he doesn't really seem too content to go for fights. Bwills the very same, just waiting in market. ATK, no, they don't have to hunt either. There's no reason to hunt the USPs. In fact, there's more reasons not to hunt the USPs, because the cost-benefit analysis is this. You get kill, you get $300. You don't get kill, you lose gun and give gun to the other team. They do take out Bwills before the end. It doesn't really matter. No op for Nouns. This could be a bit of an issue here. And a timeout is called. I'm going to guess this is a Nouns timeout. It is indeed a Nouns timeout. Semphis will have his say. He'll rally the troops, try and get them going. Probably echo your sentiments too, Mike, about keeping things calm and not letting things get out of hand.
I think the situation here is maybe don't go for the random pushes up mid where you don't actually clear anything.
Probably a good idea.
Maybe just settle in, play a pretty defaulty round. Maybe go for one piece of calculated aggression at the beginning, take some space ramp or palace, something along those lines. That deep apartments approach they like. But otherwise, this is one of those where you just kind of want to let the round play off. You want to put the pressure on to ATK. You don't want to give them anything easy. They've come close, gotten this. They've made this an interesting map, but here's where you can just deny them if you settle in.
It definitely seems like a situation where Nouns should probably just be playing a 1-3-1. One up cat, one in snipers, one in con, all watching middle. Then a player on site and player on B, or side A, side B. But they're going to go for a 2-1-2, leaving just one player in middle. That's going to be Cynic. No real aggression just yet from them. In fact, they're pretty much giving up the B side of things, tossing a Molotov early and backing away, leaving Carson to solo things maybe from bench, maybe from logs, maybe from van, either way. Giving up a lot of space towards B, pressuring a lot towards A, and still not really pushing forward on it. Underpass control from Fadey should telegraph that it's going to be an A hit, but the thing is, it's all a ruse. It's all a fake, it's all a fraud, it's all a phony. They're going back to B. MisteM should be hurt. Carson's going to see all the information. Drops the smoke and retreats behind. Here's the drop, but he cannot come up with a kill. That's an issue now, and Nouns might even just save here. They're backing away entirely. It's the right call.
Not something we're used to seeing from this Nouns roster. This is very conservative. Uber early time to pull this save. Get the one kill, but I mean, certainly on time, you can't do anything about this. That may just be the check to get the AK. And indeed it is for Cynic. They're out of here. That will allow them another round, right? Instead of it just being 2 gun rounds, you're making it a little bit more effective. Maybe Carson just saves in the next and you let him do something silly with a deagle, but I don't mind this for Nouns. Went for a bit of a lean, bit of a heavy stack. You lost that initial presence. Okay. Pull the plug.
It's definitely the right call. The only thing is, Atk are closing the gap. At least for Nouns, they have match point. But if they can't convert it, it doesn't really matter in the end. Atk are finding ways to battle back. They're finding ways to win. They get a bit lucky. They get the one player playing B, and that's the site taken over. Maybe even if there was one kill from Carson, Nouns attempt the retake. But going in on a 5-man hold, it's futile. It's not last round. There's no reason to throw bodies at the problem. They can't let their bodies hit the floor. They do buy up with Carson. It's a full buy again from Nouns. They don't really have a lot of residual cash, only 2K on Nounscxzi and George. And things are definitely getting dire. I think it's a lot closer than the 15-9 would have suggested. I like the oppositioning from Bowden, too, just waiting for a peek.
Yeah, I think everyone's holding in a breath right now.
Yep.
Letting the moment sit. I think that this first kill could be the tipping point one way or another for this series. They're going to group up for an A take. Nouns, I mean, they're well positioned for this one. Got the rifles at hand. Everybody close to bear. Oh, that connector smoke thrown. They're going to start to make the moves from the ATK side. Oh, this window smoke fades. MOTM could be caught on the timing. Needs to be in the calm before that happens. He's not, but it's just damage, at least for the moment. He limps away. It's going to get messy here on the sites. George dancing around the balcony. Sixy fighting that kill means they don't know George is here. They haven't seen him just yet. This is going to get real weird, and they've lost track. They've lost track of George. This could be the death blow. This could be the backstab. It's all on a Bowden now, trying to keep the minute. 25 seconds, and he will be overwhelmed. It's going to be Nouns advancing into the upper bracket final. They take the dub. They take the win. They take the round.
It's George the hero again from hell. He didn't have a lot of impact in a lot of the rounds, but when he had to make a play, he did for this Nouns side. And he's normally their star player. He's normally the guy at the top of the scoreboard. This time, takes a bit of a backseat. It's like, all right, guys, you guys have fun. When things go wrong, I'll be here.